Today's episode is brought to you by Gray Block Pizza. Gray Block Pizza. You know you want pizza, right? Yeah. So why have anything other than Gray Block? Imagine having it in your mouth, boy. Yeah. 1811 Pico Boulevard on the way to the beach. Gray Block Pizza. Get that hitter. Today's guest is a man that I met at the gun store. And I went in there recently. I'm going to be very honest with you. And I didn't know what I was doing, but I did know that I wanted to get a gun. And this man had so much information and just knew so much in that, in that realm, in the bulletry. And he's also a gunsmith. He's an outdoorsman. And he is a bona fide gun man. My new friend, Niko Furlan. You feel me? I'll fucking drink your blood, bro.
Yeah, speaking of drinking, man.
So Niko, I appreciate you coming in today, man. And because you sold me 2 guns recently.
I did, yeah.
I did. So did. And I was just thinking about it whenever I was at the gun store.
Yeah.
And what gun store do you work at?
Turner's Outdoorsman. We're on Hawthorne Boulevard, North Torrance.
And they got everything in there.
Everything. We got handguns, revolvers, rifles, shotguns for all your needs. Everything you need. And
I noticed, they have everything. If you want to be a murderer, if you want to be a fisherman, if you want to.
They have the full spectrum. You can go out like North Hollywood. The North Hollywood shootout. You can do just like that. You can shoot deer. You know what I mean? You can put your dog down. Whatever you're into. Yeah, you guys can. Yeah.
You guys can do all of that. Yeah, we had a guy by us actually that when I was growing up that would put people's. He was kind of the guy if you had to put your dog down.
Really?
Yeah.
You just call him up?
You would call him or you just go knock.
Yeah. Would you expect compensation for that, or he would just do it?
No, he would just do it.
Oh, he just liked it, yeah.
Well, no, he was just the kind of guy, he had done it enough. I think a lot of people are scared, I don't want to put my dog down. Right, I don't know how to do it. What if I shoot him in the wrong place? What if I what if some people would try to strangle their dog or something? Like, oh, I can't get him to go down.
My brother put our dog down.
Really?
Yeah, he didn't even mean to, but he did it.
On accident?
Kinda. My dog was sick. I had a little Chihuahua,
Oh yeah.
And he was old and getting sick.
Dog, a Frisbee will put that fucking thing down.
Oh yeah. I mean, you can drop a biscuit on the floor. You'll hit him in the head. He's done. He's done, dude. Like Reginald Denny, man. Back of the head, just gone. Just like that. Yeah, but no, he was sick, and he's a little Chihuahua, so he wants to sleep in the bed. He goes under the covers, Mm-hmm. I think he was too weak, and he's sleeping with my brother in his bed. Mm-hmm. I don't think he could get out. I think he suffocated, man.
Oh Jesus Christ.
Yeah, my brother was not happy.
Yeah, it almost reminds me of that movie. I'm trying to think of that movie, Twins. Maybe you've seen that movie?
Nah, man.
It's before your time, I think. Can you bring up that?
Twins?
Can you bring up something?
Twins. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So it was a movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger though. But
oh shit,
I think so. Who was in it? Or maybe Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I think when I was born, he was a governor.
Yeah, he was. Before that, he was sleeping with his brother. Yeah, there they are.
Damn, man.
But yeah, dude, you sleep with your brother, bro. So anything could die. It's a fucking risky game.
Oh
man.
Yeah. Well, he's like he's a hairy Italian guy.
Yeah.
There's death under there.
Yeah.
It's gross, man.
One of the reasons I wanted to talk today was just because of, I ended up buying some guns.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you sure did.
And I didn't know if I even wanted any guns, but once the pandemic hit, once the COVID came in, I was like, I think I need to get some guns.
Yeah.
And so I came over there to you guys and yeah, just the whole experience. Like, what has the experience been for you? Like working at a gun store, what has it been like since this pandemic hit?
Well, I mean, it's completely unprecedented what's going on. I work there with a lot of guys that have been working in the firearms industry for a long time, real experienced guys, and they've been selling guns for longer than I've been alive.
Oh dang, man!
And they tell me the same thing, man. They tell me it's unprecedented. The month of March had more background checks done than any other month in the history of the United States. March of 2020. When the first kind of panic started going on, we had over, nearly 200 people outside the store waiting to get in before we opened. 4 to 5 hour lines just for service because we were just full of people. And if you know, if you're around LA, there's not that many gun stores. There's a handful just around, especially West LA.
Mm-hmm.
And where we are, kind of like in the epicenter of a bunch of different neighborhoods. So we're by Torrance, Manhattan Beach, Hawthorne, on the way to Gardena. So we're kind of like right in the middle of all that.
Right. So kind of white, getting Mexican-y.
Oh, I'm gonna be honest, man. It's mostly Latino.
Yeah.
Our clientele is mostly Latino, but I was surprised when I started working there, the diversity of people purchasing firearms. It's all types.
And so when you say like how soon after kind of the pandemic hit, or after did you notice there was a certain thing that brought people in? It's like, oh, now we got to go get the guns. Like now,
100%. The vast majority of people in there buying guns as of recent have been brand new gun buyers. Never bought a gun in their life. Never even expected to buy guns. That's for a lot of them. And it was the first time, and I was talking to a lot of my coworkers, it was the first time that people really started talking about openly in the store buying these guns and using them in the defense of their property from people willing to take it from them.
Wow.
A lot of people are like, oh, hey, I want to get a tactical shotgun. And it's like, oh, if you ever ask them, oh, what do you plan on doing with it? Oh, I'll just shoot at the range. I like it. And, it's a good thing for home defense. Okay, granted. That was common. But now it's like, oh, I need to get this because what if someone breaks in and they're trying to take my stuff, or they were just going off about it. They're talking about, it kind of reminded them of the riots in LA in 92. Mm-hmm. Some of the old timers talking about the Watts riots back in, I believe, the 70s.
Yeah. Especially living in this area. That's another thing I thought about. I was like, wow, well, I live in an area that has a history of unrest, of civil unrest if things get squirreled out, really. So, because it's funny because I was even thinking to myself, like, why am I buying a gun? What am I? I think I'd always kind of wanted to get a gun, but I'd never acted on it. And then suddenly it was like, okay, I'm going to get this gun.
Yeah.
And I think it was just, I want to be able to take care of myself. I want to be able to, like, if things get real heated, and somebody's coming over, somebody's stealing diapers from me or stealing water or stealing whatever, like.
They come for that TP, brother. They want that toilet paper, man. They want, they're coming for your collared shirts.
Yeah, people. But I guess it's funny because I think my first instinct would be if somebody like really needed help would be to help them.
Right.
But then if somebody's coming in with the intent not looking for help.
Right. They're there for your stuff.
Yeah.
They're there for your life, man. Yeah.
What were have you gotten some wild questions from people during this time?
Oh my God. You have no idea, man. All types. You get all types of weirdos in there, man. I remember one dude was coming in. He was like an older white guy, and he was coming in. He was like, I'm looking for a 45-70 lever action rifle. And 45-70s used to be the standard military cartridge for the U.S. pretty much right after the Civil War, just pretty much until right before World War I. And it's a very powerful, large, big bore cartridge. They use it for buffalo hunting, stuff like that. It's just a very powerful cartridge. And the gentleman I was talking to was like, oh yeah, why are you looking for something like that, And he was like, well, I read that this is a good gun for a riot. I was like, what does that mean? Like, a good gun for a riot? Like, what are you gonna do with it during a riot? And he's just like, oh, like it's a heavy bullet, so it'll just sail through crowds. I was like, God damn, all right, like. It's a good riot cartridge then, man.
It's a way to get to the front of the line,
Oh,
man.
yeah, hell yeah, man. And all types. A lot of people looking for really cheap guns.
Yeah.
I need something under $200. It was like, dude, I'm going to sell you a knife, man. I can't there's not too many guns.
I'm going to sell you a fast knife.
You can throw it, man.
Yeah.
There's your range.
And so, but you got a lot of new users in for the first time.
Yeah.
And what's the gun that you usually recommend for those types of people?
If they're looking for, first I got to ask them, are you looking for a rifle? You're looking for a shotgun? You're looking for a handgun? Most people can at least answer that question. Like, what out of those three major categories are you looking for? Right. And if they're looking for a handgun, I recommend just most polymer frame striker fired pistols, really easy to use, like a Glock, for an example, Springfield XDs, but we're limited on what we can get here in California. Smith & Wesson, Shield, Smith & Wesson SD9s, that kind of thing. Those guns are really popular for new gun buyers because they're really, really simple to use, and they're just effective. They just do the job. That's it.
And when you say that, so California has like different laws, like would they have different, we can't get certain types of guns here, you mean? Or we can't?
Oh, yeah. Well, okay. Well, long guns, rifles and shotguns, you're not really limited on the exact specific guns you can get. They have to be California compliant, which
Okay.
means they have to have a list of features that are not on the gun. It's really stupid and convoluted. And then for handguns, there's something called the California handgun roster, where there's an actual list of designated models that you can buy here in California. What that pretty much entails, as far as I understand it, is that they pretty much need to pay a lot of money and pass all these safety requirements to get on the roster.
Okay.
And then for semi-automatic handguns, like one of the guns that you purchase, a semi-automatic handgun, they pretty much need to be made after the year 2013. Not the actual make, but the design of the gun needs to be from 2013 or before that. The reason for that is the California, pretty much, I believe it was Department of Justice, they dictated that if you're going to bring a new gun on the roster, a new semi-automatic handgun on the roster, it needs to have micro-stamping technology. Okay, I believe those are the words they used.
Okay.
Micro-stamping technology would entail where if you fired the bullet, it would leave an imprint on the bullet that would be able to track the gun specifically to that serial number.
Right.
Okay, that technology does not exist.
But when you see this, I feel like you see a lot of times on like crime shows and stuff where people use a bullet and they can trace it back to a gun.
Yeah. What that would pretty much entail is based on the way the firing pin hits the primer of the cartridge, they can tell what kind of gun it is. Was it a revolver? And maybe they could even tell what specific actual firearm it is. Oh, that was I'm based maybe on the extraction pattern as well. Oh, that was a Glock 17, for an example. Or not even a 17. They can just, it's a Glock 9mm. Okay? That's just one thing they can tell from it. But with micro-stamping technology, they pretty much are saying that they can track, using the imprint from the firing pin, they can track the actual gun's serial number directly to you, which on CSI, it's a fantasy. That's not true.
Look that up. Do you mind, Nick? Microstamping is a process in which a gun imprints a unique microscopic code onto the ammunition it fires. The goal is to enable detectives to collect shell casings at a crime scene, enter the code in a database, and quickly track the firearm to its owner.
Yeah.
The problem is the technology is unreliable and expensive. Each time a gun is fired, it wears slightly, leaving a microstamp unreadable after a short period of normal use. Almost like a regular stamp. If you run out of, like, I guess the ability maybe to like one of those ink pads or something, then you're done. I guess they're trying to make. So this seemed like this seems like a plan that would make great sense, but they just do not have the technology for it yet.
Right, and nor is it practical in the sense of it actually mitigating crime. Where, yeah, I mean, if you do have microstamping technology, you could tell which firearm specifically it was, right? However, there's certain requirements that consider something a firearm in the United States, okay? It's typically the frame, also the receiver of a gun, right? So if you have a Glock pistol, right, which is a very standard pistol, just the plastic frame is the only part on the gun that actually has a serial number. Everything else is just a metal part. You can order it all online.
Right.
So I can buy a Glock, buy a firing pin online for $10, replace the firing pin, and it would have a different micro stamp.
I see what you're saying.
It's very easy to get rid of something. And what's to stop someone from just grounding it off?
Right.
It would do nothing.
So this is something that theoretically would be great, but in reality it's not really very practical.
Exactly.
And this is a law now that you have to have this?
Yeah, so new handguns from manufacturers to be sold in California, semi-automatic handguns, need to have micro-stamping technology for them to be approved on the roster.
Okay. And the one that I bought is that?
Is a gun that does not have micro-stamping technology because it was being made and sold in California before the year of 2013.
Oh, I see. So it's grandfathered in, kind of.
Kind of. I mean, the gun that you have is brand new.
Right.
No one's used it or anything. It's just that specific model was allowed because they were making and selling that model to California. They were selling that model here in California before the year of 2013.
So of the new like gun owners that you're seeing, like people that have come to the shop recently, who are they? Like, what do they look like? What are they? I mean, you said it was a lot of Latinos out there.
Mostly.
And is it a lot of gangsters? Is it a lot of females? What is it? You know, abuelos?
At our all types, man. At our shop, we get a lot of gangsters. Gangsters of all kinds. I mean, I've seen like dudes that are borderline like white nationalists. Straight up cholos.
Nick got all excited.
Yeah.
Calm down, Nick, man. Sorry.
Just straight like just black gangsters, like Bloods, Crips, that kind of stuff. And yeah, they don't. I mean, a lot of times they don't even hide it. Like
what about Jews? Do you see any Jews in there?
A few, not too many. I feel like I don't know.
There's a lot of Jewish supremacists now, like people that are devout Judaism only type of shit.
Yeah, Zionists. You know.
Yeah,
right. I feel like they have their own way of getting guns. We sell Jewish guns. We got some like stuff from Israel there, which is kind of cool.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean Israel makes a lot of weapons, man.
Yeah.
I
It's,
mean,
it's a weapon belt over there.
Hell yeah,
Got to.
Technology and weapons, man. Yeah. Well, they're surrounded by their enemies, you know.
Yeah, it's a hot area. It's a good area to have a weapon.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So go ahead. You're seeing a lot of Latinos. You're seeing a lot of gang. Is it a lot of gangbangers? Is it a lot of stepmoms?
Not a lot. You get that occasionally. It's just a lot of just really random people, man. Whether it's like people my age, you know, just first time gun buyers, 21 years old, single women with kids.
And are they expressing fears about the pandemic,
Yes.
about the? Okay.
100%. They're there telling us like, I don't know what to get. I don't know anything about guns. I don't even really want to know anything about guns. I just want to get one.
That was me, really.
Yeah,
kind of. I mean, I knew I wanted a handgun. I looked through some guns and kind of picked out the one that I wanted.
Exactly. But I don't think you were there entirely out of fear, man. A lot of people were there really just like looking around, and they just kind of were freaking me out, to be honest with you, man.
And is there an element where you have to like, if somebody's you determine that they have too much fear? Do you still have to sell them a gun?
I wouldn't say I have to, but
because that's a scary person to sell a gun to. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm coming from a place of like, just complete fear, then I could make some poor choices. You know,
100%.
You don't want to fucking shoot a guy and he just had the mail. You know?
Yeah, no, for sure. But that's where it gets tricky, because you also don't want to deprave someone of their Second Amendment right, especially when there's a limited amount of gun stores and it's hard for them to get in. I mean, a lot of people were waiting for 5 hours for service.
Yeah.
And they want to get a gun, and despite the reasons, I mean, out of fear, that's not necessarily a reason where I can take away their constitutional right. That's what I see.
Right. So yeah. So there's nothing in it like where you make any sort of like psychological, mental health evaluation of them.
We have the freedom to.
Okay.
We can. And like another thing, like by requirement, if you smell like marijuana, I can't serve you.
Wow.
Literally, and I've had it told. Like, I mean, man, I have some stories of these gangsters that come in all the time, man. Or just anyone. I mean, people that smell like weed, but just like usually people that walk into a gun store.
Some real fucking cholos. I know you're talking about.
They sit in their Infinity, you know, and they're smoking a backwood.
Yeah.
And they're in the parking lot, and they're like, all right, now let's go buy guns.
Now
like,
we're talking Persian.
Reek,
yeah.
You know? Can't do
and what the fuck? And do they a lot of times think they're gonna be able to get it day of?
Oh my! Most people, not most, but a lot of people were getting upset at us because they were like, it's a 10-day waiting period in California. So if you start the background check that day, right? Then 10 days from now, you can come pick it up.
Right. That's what I'm going through right now.
Exactly.
And it just got extended, too. It just got...
As of recent, they've been extended a little bit. The DOJ pretty much sent out a notification to us that they're completely backed up on background checks going through. So even after the 10-day waiting period, the background check might not have cleared yet. So we've had, I mean, this weekend, probably over 40 people come pick up their guns, and we had to deny them that access to pick up their firearm, even if it was after their 10-day waiting period, just due to the fact that they cannot, the DOJ has not cleared their background check yet.
Wow.
Yeah. It's just pending. And I checked it for you because your pickup day was yesterday.
Yeah.
You're going through the same thing. If you came in yesterday to get your firearms, which it would have been after the 10-day waiting period, you would not have been able to.
And now, has that ever happened in your line, like in your time of work?
No one I talked to there has ever seen that. Ever.
And so what do you attribute that to?
Just the sheer amount of people that are buying guns in the United States and California.
So maybe it's good. At least it's like, okay, we have to run some sort of a background check. We're not just filtering all of these people through.
Yeah. I mean, especially in California. I mean, that background check process is California, and there's other states that do backgrounds. There's a national background check system, right? When you fill out paperwork, and that's what you did, right? And that national background check system doesn't necessarily mean a 10-day waiting period. There's a lot of other states where you can buy day of and take it home.
Really?
California is one of the only, not one of the only, but there's a few states that have a waiting period.
Day of you can buy?
Oh, yeah. I mean, Arizona, Utah, you go buy it day of, fill out the paperwork, take it home.
Dude, Arizona, you know that they take a driver's license picture when you're like 19 years old, and then you don't have to get it done again for 50 years. Can you fucking imagine that?
Yeah, I know. Guy's like an old man, man. Let me see your ID. It doesn't even look like him, man. It looks like his kids. Look at the grandkids, man. That's funny.
That's crazy, though, man. Hey there, cool cats and kittens. Carol Baskin here from Big Cat Rescue. Look, did Carol Baskin feed her husband to Los Tigres, papa? Huh? Did she do it? Fuck yeah, she did. We don't know. But what we do know is every man should trim his balls. I want you to take a second and look down. Get your pants off or pretend your pants are off and look down. When was the last time you shaved your junk? You running around here with that dirty Fant trunk out in front of you. You trying to feed your wiener peanuts and drink water through your dick. You're out of your mind. It's been a while since you cleaned your junk, bucko. That's why our sponsors, Manscaped, are dedicated to making sure your jungle gets tamed. That's right. I've often looked at my penis and been like, oh, I can do better than this. Okay? And that's sometimes if you can't grow more dick or anything, you got to get your hair better. Cut your hair to make your dick look better. And you can do that now with Manscaped's redesigned electric trimmer. The Manscaped engineering team has their third generation trimmer called the Lawnmower 3.0. And this thing has skin safe technology. You cannot cut your penis or balls open. That's all we need to say. Okay? Look, when I was growing up, I had to remember using a gas-powered trimmer around my wiener. And you know how that ended. R.I.P. My buddy. They also make charging the lawnmower super easy with its intelligently designed USB convenient charging dock. That's right. You can be doing work, charge your D-trimmer right there on the computer, bang, get in the shower, and cut your dick up. You know what I mean. They got that USB charger dock. You can do your work and then do your junk. And if you're a true Tiger King fan, you can now safely make Tiger King stripes in your pubes. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code THEO at manscaped.com. I know you listen to this every week and you're like, oh, I've heard this ad before. Then use the ad. Quit just listening to it, you delinquent. Do yourself a favor and get the right stuff to take care of your damn penis and nuts, you idiot. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use code THEO. Make sure to tame your jungle. I hate to interrupt this episode, but as folks adapt, and that is a word, to this challenging new world, we are all going to be buying more items online than ever before. So if you're an e-commerce seller, are you ready to meet the demands of our new delivery culture? Well, you can be with Shipstation. That's right, Shipstation. When you're selling online, getting a lot of orders, getting them out fast can be tough. Oh, well, I can barely do it. How do you keep track of who gets what? Oh, this is for Anthony and this is for Tanya and more. Which ship carrier should you use? FedEx, UPS, Amazon Fulfillment? Are you getting the best rates? Don't think about all that. Let Shipstation.com do it for you. It's the fastest, easiest, and most affordable way to manage and ship your orders. Just a few clicks and you'll be managing your orders, printing out labels, and getting your product to happy customers. ShipStation makes it easy. Look, if you're selling stuff, if you're getting rid of things, if you're moving inventory, take the pressure off your neck and use ShipStation. It works with all the major carriers, UPS, FedEx, UPS, Amazon Fulfillment. You can compare and choose the best shipping solution for you and your customer. They even offer big discounts on shipping costs. Now, any regular business can access the same shipping discounts that are usually reserved for large Fortune 500 companies. And right now, this past weekend listeners can try ShipStation. Come on, try it for free. It's free to try. For 60 days, when you use the offer code Theo, THEO. Make sure your business is ready to meet the demands of delivery culture. Support this past weekend. Get started at ShipStation.com. Just click on the microphone at the top of the homepage. That's ShipStation.com. Then enter code Theo. ShipStation.com. Make ship happen. But that seems wild because if you do you prefer that there's a waiting period? It seemed like there definitely should be because what if I'm just pissed about something?
Right.
What if I am fucking high? What if I'm coked up? What if I'm this or that?
Right.
You know,
That's
I'm all on
the
DMT
fear.
and I want to go fucking, I want to go deep and shoot the devil. Does California have one of the longest ones? Is 10-day one of the
I
longest
believe 10-day
ones?
is the longest one. Yeah, I believe we do have the longest one. Not 100% on that, but I'm 99% sure.
Yeah, and California's a pretty liberal state, you know. I mean, certainly Los Angeles area is. And so I was like really shocked when it was hard to get in over at you guys' place. You know, there was like a waiting period to get in, you know. It's just and then they had just made a law or passed some sort of ruling that you guys weren't even going to be allowed to sell guns anymore. Yeah,
the governor, Gavin Newsom, extremely anti-gun, and the sheriff of Los Angeles County at one point both declared that gun stores should be closed down and that they're not essential. That's because they were pretty much seeing the giant rush on gun stores. However, I believe they were flooded with a bunch of lawsuits, like constitutional lawsuits, like, that's, you know, trumping our Second Amendment right. So then they actually kind of just pulled off on it. So in some counties they have stopped them. I know the Turner's location in Oxnard, they were shut down by the police there because by the sheriff there because of their orders for their county. But LA County is not one of those counties. Surprisingly.
Does it worry you like that there's going to be a lot more guns like flooding, like even just driving around and you thinking like, oh shit, now there's a lot more fucktards with guns? Like, do you think about that at all?
Yeah, I mean, I've thought about it. Not much I can do about it, man. That's always been a part of American life, man. There's always been firearms. They've always been here since
the Big Bang Theory. If you think about that, I mean, America started with the world started with
chaos.
Brother. Somebody setting it off, you know.
100%. Yeah, it would have been God just shooting. Turning the universe, man.
Yeah, dude. Somebody just the pin hitting the freaking
firing pin in the primer. There it is.
Boom.
After that, man, it's just chaos from there.
So you can't be shocked if somebody else wants to do it.
No. I can't.
If somebody wants to big bang at somebody fucking running through the yard at night.
And if you ever shot a gun, man, I mean, a lot of people that are there anti-gun have never fired a weapon.
Yeah.
It's exhilarating. It's a lot of fun. It captures your kind of that kind of visceral need for destruction in a way.
Well, I've said this before, and I had a buddy who said that he killed someone.
Yeah.
And he said that he said it was awesome.
Oh yeah.
You know? And I'm not saying I don't condone what he said. And,
oh yeah.
And I'm not saying he should have done it or any shit like that, but he did. I trust some of his belief. You know, it's not his belief, but I trust his own evaluation of what occurred.
Oh yeah. I got a lot of buddies in the military, man, and they haven't seen any combat yet, and they're just training, and they're all a lot of them are infantrymen, and they're getting into it, but they tell me about it, and they're my age, and all they want to do is go fight. And I mean, I can't say I don't understand it. It's a people my age, young men, for the history of the human race, man, have been wanting to go to war.
Yeah. Yeah, there's something about I was talking about this last week on the podcast, that there's something about us that has like a thing of like anarchy, that I noticed like this pandemic starts to light that fuse a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Like, what if we all got to go back to the Wild West days? Like what if suddenly like the services and the society that we're in, it starts to break down.
Yeah.
I think there are some people who not only would like to have that, a little bit of that Grand Theft Auto type of lifestyle, but then also some people who want to just be prepared for it.
Oh yeah.
Like, you don't want to show up, really late to saving yourself, and being prepared. Because once shit hits the fan, you're not gonna be able to get a gun. There won't be gun stores open. You know what I'm saying? Like, if things get really bad, like, things aren't gonna be open. It's not gonna be available. And you're not gonna be able to go to your neighbor like, hey, give me a gun. They're like, nah, I'm gonna shoot you so I can run the building.
Yeah, I mean that's why my whole family lives on one block. You know what I mean? It's like,
that's fucking pretty savage.
It's a lot of firepower right there. Just, centrally located.
Yeah.
But no, man, 100%. I mean, you have a lot of people that kind of have that hunger for chaos. It's just the way it is. When you live, I mean, look at the U.S. today. It's so everything. I mean, it's so complicated. Our lives is all social media and going to work on time and all that. And I feel like people are getting kind of sick of it. And eventually, they just kind of just want that chaos to boil over, man. It just gives them a little bit time of release.
Yeah.
I guess.
Oh yeah, a lot of human beings that wants some sort of chaos, and then if they don't, at least wants to be prepared for it. at least recognizes that it's in other people. I mean, even if you look back in the Bible, man, which is, I mean, it's a hit or miss book, but if you, like Cain and Abel, they had 4 people in the world and one of them killed the other one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Adam, Eve, Cain, Abel, fucking Abel killed Cain, I think, or one of them. But dude, I mean, when you think about that, there's 4 people. 4 people, dude. You think you would be excited. There's finally 4 of us, and one of them's like, nah.
One of them's just like, nah, fuck it.
Fuck,
3.
I'm killing your boy right
Hell
here.
yeah.
Okay, you're like, damn, dude.
Yeah.
Abel murdered Cain.
Yeah, bro. Abel fucking murdered Cain, dog. So that's when you gotta be like, damn, bro.
I read it wrong. You had it right the first time.
Cain murdered Abel?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Because yes, we Cain. I remember seeing those bumper stickers growing up.
Yes, we Cain.
Yeah, like if your brother gets out of line, yes, we Cain.
Yes, we Cain.
But so yeah, I just think there's something in us that makes us want to act out. And so when this shit starts to happen, you get people, it lights that fuse, it lights that limbic part of their brain that's like, how am I going to take care of myself?
Yeah.
How am I going to protect my family?
Definitely, man. And if you think about it, like what time in history in the U.S. captures people's imagination more than anything else is the Wild West.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Hey, you're in the saloon, someone looks at your girl, you shoot him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Someone disagrees that you lost a poker game, shoot him.
Yeah.
You know, you see someone out there, take his stuff, kill his horse. You know what I mean?
Well, the third part I don't like as much. I don't mind the first. The first 2 I could definitely, I would sit on a trial for.
Right,
The third one, I'd be like.
Killing a horse?
The third
Can't
one,
do
I'm like,
that.
I'm not even signing up for this. This guy's guilty.
What if you're hungry, man? You gotta eat that shit.
Well, if you're hungry, man, I think if you're real hungry, dude, Look, I've told you before, I'd eat a neighbor, I'd eat somebody.
Right,
I'm not afraid.
No, for sure.
I've eaten rare shit. I'll have a little more.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm not afraid to go down that, that kind of, palate path. I'm not afraid to fucking eat somebody.
You almost ate Ben, the young Viet.
Yeah, almost bit into a fucking Vietnamese guy at a damn Best Buy. And that was just when I was a fasting. So I didn't even, that was forced starvation. This is, if you're talking about real starvation, bro.
Yeah.
Because you got to think, if shit goes weird, you're in an apartment building.
Right.
Immediately, it's like, okay, things are going to get weird quick. Like, if society started to break down, right? Nobody's been picking up trash.
No.
So you have no trash pickup, right? So everything is going to start to stink. Nobody's, who knows if clean water plants and that sort of stuff are starting to work. Do you have fresh water? Do you have water at home?
Right.
So people are going to be on edge.
Oh, yeah.
On edge.
Oh, yeah.
So suddenly, like, shit in your apartment building is going to start to become like a little bit of, I don't think everybody's like, hey, let's be on the same team and team up together.
No. It's definitely not, man. I mean, I just came back from the Philippines, man. And over there, you can see how people are. They're really community oriented. Everyone kind of sees each other like a big family. Mm-hmm. That's the way I felt when I was over there. But over here, man, it's dog eat dog. That's how I feel. I feel like you'll have a lot of people that are trying to like work together, but Americans could be selfish. They're looking out for themselves. So.
Especially in a city. I think in a city, you're dealing with that. Like, I think if once I got out to like a more of a rural environment or something, and you have a bit of land, you have some space where you can see, okay, if there's people out on the Ponderosa or what's going on, you have animals that are around that you could trust to go out and get a little bit of light intel and show back up at the house. You know what I'm saying, though? Like, you have real
recon cow.
Yeah,
I get you. Yeah,
you have a fucking cow that could recon out there and then shake that bell if shit's fucking getting wiry.
Just put a GoPro on them, man. Just tell them to come back. You watch it. Like, oh, I knew those motherfuckers were out there, man. God damn it.
But I'm saying you could send a little shepherd, you could send a little German shepherd out there or a British shepherd or anything. You could do whatever you want, man. I'm just, it's,
definitely.
But I don't think I want to be the guy sitting on my porch without a weapon.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely don't want to be the guy that's unarmed in that situation, right? Yeah. I mean, without a weapon, I don't think anything's going to get that bad. Hopefully not. I mean, things are looking better already.
Right.
But if shit goes down the drain, you do not want to be the guy that's unarmed. It's like being in prison and you're not like one of those like racial gangs yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
it's like showing up in prison without a butthole.
Literally, yeah. It's like, I mean, what are you offering then?
Yeah.
If you don't got a butthole, what are you doing?
Right. Well, it's like, how are you gonna when everybody else, you don't want to be the guy without a butthole. Because you're not gonna fucking last very long. You know what I'm saying? Do you guys have weapons? Nick, Gianni, you guys have weapons or no?
I just bought a gun, but my older brother has a gun. My dad has like 6 guns, so.
But your dad doesn't live here, does he?
No. So
okay, so that's out of the picture. So you have one gun between you and your brother.
Gun, but I bought a shotgun and I bought a 9mm.
Okay.
There it is.
Nick?
I have no guns, but I want to, but it sounds like a hassle. I know it's not that big of a deal. You just have to go twice, but I don't know.
Yeah, no, man.
We'll help you out, brother. We got options.
Word.
Yeah. We got you, man.
And then I wonder if but at a certain point, do you worry that they would shut down the gun stores?
Yeah, I'm not too worried about that. You know, I'm ready to rock and roll. So,
have you had people come to buy a weapon and you knew that they were going to use it for a crime?
Oh yeah, I got a few good stories like that. You know, like sometimes you get those precarious characters in, you know.
Oh yeah,
and they come in like, hey man, I'm looking for a like a pocket 9mm. I'm like, oh okay, and we do sell small, you know, concealable handguns. And they're like, oh okay, yeah, let me see that. And then they don't want to know about the specs. They don't give a shit about it. They don't care about anything about the gun. They're just like, oh yeah, let me see that. And they kind of hold it, and then they're like, they just put it in their pocket. I'm just like, I'm like, hey man, like, can you not put it in your pocket? He's just like, hey, I'm just seeing like if it fits. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then like I saw a dude one time, he put it in his pocket and he pulls it out and draws it like on the table right at my chest.
Yeah.
He's just like that. And I'm just like, oh, all right. I mean, we got guns pointed at us all day over there.
Right,
so
I pointed at you on accident a couple times, remember?
Yeah, it's okay, man. We have times where people are pointing shotguns, 12-gauge shotguns right there, eye level, like at the counter. And
the guy's like, call me the N-word. And you're like, no, I'm not doing it, dude. I'm not doing it, bro. Oh, the guy's like, pretend you work at a bank. And you're like, what do you want me to do?
Oh, dude. Man, when I was like 18, I worked at Big Five, you know, and I was there, and we sell BB guns at Big Five, BB handguns, and they look real, you know. And I remember these two brothers came in, and they came in there, and they're looking, and they're, you know, they smell like weed, and they're like, oh yeah, man, I'm looking for that handgun right there. That shit look real. I'm like, okay. So I show it to him, and they're there. He's just looking at it. He's like, yeah, man, this will do the job. And I'm just like, oh, you guys, like, what are you guys doing with it? And he's just like, oh, nothing, you know. And then, like, as a joke, he points it at his friend in his head. He yells at him, like, in the store. Everyone turns around and looks. He's like, run me them shoes, motherfucker. And he's, like, screaming at his friend. And I was like, oh, shit, man. Like, these guys are, like, just used to
like BB role-playing kind of.
Oh, yeah, yeah. But they're like, oh, yeah, this will work. And they bought it. It was, like, $90, you know.
Damn.
Fake handgun.
So, yeah, you see, so there's people coming in. If you had somebody come in and you knew, have you ever had somebody straight up tell you, like, don't sell me a gun because I'm going to kill somebody?
No, but I mean, we have to ask those questions. Like I asked you, Theo, like, hey man, you ever there's 4 questions that you have to ask, and then you have the whole list, you know. And when they're filling out the paperwork and they're asking if you're a convicted felon, they're like, and like I see people like struggle on it. They're like, what if I was convicted, but it wasn't like a violent felony? And I'm just like, yeah, I can't do that. I just kind of take the paperwork. I'm like, yeah, felony? Sorry. Like if you've been convicted of a felony, unless it's been completely like acquitted, you know, unless you've been completely like found non-guilty of the crime, like you haven't been convicted, then if you're a convicted felon, we can't sell you a gun for the rest of your life.
Ever for the rest of your life.
Rest of your life.
Yeah.
Cannot do it.
Yeah, the test was pretty tricky, I remember. Can you bring up that test, Nick?
I could not find it.
Okay.
California FSC test. Firearm safety certificate.
How many did you get wrong, Theo? Do you remember?
I think I got 3 wrong.
Found this on the web.
He got 3 wrong.
Me too.
27 out of 30. Yeah.
It took me longer than most people to take the test, though, I feel like.
It took you a while, man, but you're making jokes while you were doing it too, man. I remember everyone was laughing when you were taking the test, but you were saying some funny shit.
Well, I was trying to sneakily get information out of people too. I was trying to start a little conversation, then see if somebody would drop a little hint of intel. Because some of the questions were a little bit tough, I felt like. It took me about 40 minutes to take it.
That's probably looking like a study guide. You can take a practice test, like California FSC practice test, and they'll have some of the questions on there. It's funny because people get the same ones wrong all the time. It's always the same questions that they get wrong.
Yeah, it was some of it was tough for me. The age at which you can buy a firearm.
Yeah, it's 21 for long guns and handguns in California. It used to be 18 for long guns, 21 for handguns. They changed that. I believe 2019, January 1st, 2019.
And here's a question right here: is it legal to store a loaded firearm in the premises where children have access to?
No,
no, it's not.
Yeah.
Let's see. Have Theo take it.
Oh yeah, for sure, definitely.
What is not a part of a cartridge or a shotgun shell? I'm gonna go with the choke. What types of sight do the handgun shooters use?
That's a dumb question.
Yeah,
that's a really dumb question.
I would say A. All of the above. I mean D. A sale or transfer of a firearm between 2 private parties must be completed through a licensed firearms dealer only if the buyer and seller do not personally know each other. That is false. It must be completed between a licensed dealer no matter what.
Exactly.
That's the one I got wrong.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
That's the one most people get wrong during the FSC.
So if I want to sell a friend a gun, I want to sell Gianni or Nick a gun, I have to go through a licensed dealer.
Come by to us or any other gun store. Tell them you want to do a private party transfer. They're going to charge you a small fee.
Mm-hmm.
We pretty much get both your guys' information.
Mm-hmm.
The gun is then legally transferred over to the person that you're selling it to. The money doesn't go through us or anything like that. We just collect our small fee. Money is all handled outside of the store. Within 10 days, the buyer can come pick it up, and that's it. Just like a normal process, we just hold on to the gun for 10 days. They come pick it up.
And if I sell it to Gianni just without going through a licensed dealer, then
Felony.
there's felony. Wow. Damn.
Yeah.
Is that just in California or is that everywhere?
Some states do not have. There's no need for a background check for private party. So I believe Texas is one of those states. So, I mean, you'll have like videos of people buying guns in like a McDonald's bathroom. You know what I mean? They're like, hey, let's meet up, and then they're selling a goddamn Glock 19.
Who's producing that? Why can't we do that, Nick?
Yeah.
Huh? Probably Segura in them. Generally, it is legal to carry a concealed firearm in public under which of the following circumstances? You are an experienced gun handler and know all the safety rules. You are honorably discharged from the military. You are in an unsafe area. It is legal to carry a firearm in public under which of the following circumstances?
I'm on guard. I'm in
none of the above.
Yeah.
That's none.
I'm in Gardena, bro. I can carry a gun, man. It's cool.
Yeah.
No, I'm just joking, man. Yeah, it's hard to get a concealed carry license in California, man. It's pretty difficult. L.A. County, nearly impossible, unless you know somebody.
Right. Wow.
Yeah.
The first cartridge loaded into a magazine presses against the... No idea. I would go with magazine spring, but I have no idea.
Oh, it's follower, that one.
The follower?
Yeah, the follower is a little piece of plastic or metal that's in front of the magazine spring that pushes up on the cartridge. That's a dumb question. That's not even on the real FSC.
Yeah, it's not on the test.
Yeah.
But these are some of the questions that are on there. Smokeless powder, black powder, that wasn't on there.
Nah, yeah. I feel like this might be an old version of the test or something, but some of the questions are on there, but...
Yeah.
Do you see
that's
any
fine.
of these that are the actual test? Because I Googled what you...
Yeah, a few of them we went through are on the actual test. The gun hand...
No, any of these links he's saying.
Oh, I'm not sure. Not sure. I actually I owned about more than 10 guns without ever taking the FSC test. Because before, I mean, you can buy guns if you have a hunting license. They just played with the law a little bit now, but like you can buy long guns at 18 still now if you have a hunting license. So I was 18. I mean, I got a hunting license when I was like 12, right? But so when I turned 18 with my hunting license, I was able to buy a bunch of long guns. So that's what I did. So I never even took that test until I actually started working there.
Wow.
Yeah, no idea.
So that's just because that's a new new law, you have to take that test?
That test also, when you're 21, you can buy a handgun. And that's before. And the hunting license does not apply to handguns.
Oh, I see what you're
Weirdly enough. But so I had to, for me to buy a handgun, I had to take that FSC test. And then plus, I've graded 20 of them before I ever took the test.
Do you think that you could shoot somebody?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I can. Yeah.
Awesome, man.
I mean, I grew up hunting, man. And that's...
Where would you shoot them?
Where would I shoot somebody?
Yeah.
Well, it depends, man.
Be honest, brother.
Well, I'll be honest with you, man. If you're in a situation where you have to pull out a firearm and you're going to use it on somebody, you're shooting to kill.
Right.
You're not going to shoot him in the leg. But if you're shooting someone in the leg, you're in a situation where you have the intention to injure them, where you're trying to stop one of their behaviors by injury.
Right.
And especially in California and most states, when you're actually going to use a firearm on somebody and you're not law enforcement, you're pulling out that gun. That gun is coming out because your life is currently your life will be taken if you don't use this.
Right.
Or somebody in your house or someone, your family member,
Parent, stepdad.
they're going to stepdad,
Or
uncle.
somebody.
No, you're exactly, yeah. Somebody in that house or somebody where you are is going to die or going to be grievously injured if you do not use this firearm. So if you're using that gun, you're using it to put an immediate end to the fight. And you have videos, all types of videos of people getting shot 15 times and they're still doing what they're doing because none of the shots are lethal. Well, they might be lethal eventually, but they're not immediately debilitating.
Yeah.
You got to turn the lights off if you're going to shoot. So you're talking here or here. That's it. That's where you would shoot.
I'd rather shoot somebody in the chest, I think, because I don't want to shoot somebody in the face, because I don't want to look at them in their faces all fucked up.
Oh, yeah. And then it's just the back end's blown out. Yeah, you don't want to see that. Yeah.
And do you have you ever seen anyone shoot somebody else?
Okay, well, not like... I've never seen like a... Okay, technically, yes. But not in a way where it was like a real lethal wound. I've technically been shot right? Many times. I go hunting, right? I mostly hunt birds because Southern California is the biggest kind of hunting season there is, dove hunting. And if you're in these busy fields going dove hunting, there's people on the other side of the field and they're shooting doves, and all those pellets are flying in the air and they land on you. Like one time my dad shot me, like pretty close. It stung like a motherfucker, but it was a shotgun shooting tiny little bird shot. But I was a good 50 yards away, so it stung like a motherfucker. But hey man, accidents happen, especially when you're whipping birds flying around. So
especially when you're aiming at your fucking son, I bet.
Yeah, I kind of pissed him off that day, man. Yeah, so I was thinking he kind of just wanted to punish me a little bit. I was kind of at the age where he can't really smack me around anymore.
Oh yeah.
So he's just like, he's just like, oh, I saw a quail over there. I didn't see that fucking quail, but yeah, I mean.
He gets you a jacket that has 4 quails on the back of it.
Yeah, exactly, dude. No orange on me, man. He's shooting through the bush. Hell yeah, dude. Yeah. I mean, it sucks, but if you go dove hunting in a busy field, you will get shot with a shotgun.
Yeah.
I promise you will.
I like that.
I don't have any scars from it, but technically speaking, yeah, I've been hit with a projectile from a firearm. Yes.
Yeah. Do you think that a lot of the people you've been selling guns to in this recent surge of gun sales has been people that are more on the liberal side of politics?
Yeah, I would say yeah. A lot of people that I talked to were admittingly, and that's the thing, man. I'm not big on that word liberal because in the
maybe that's not the right word.
No, it's all right. Just in the classical sense, liberal means like, oh, you believe in the freedom of the individual,
right,
which would be pro-gun. So I mean, like,
or far or left leaning. I would say leftist.
For sure, definitely a lot of that. A lot of people admittingly, and you can kind of just tell, just by the way they look and the way they act, the way they dress, you can kind of figure it out. Same thing with conservatives. You can kind of just point them out.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. But a lot of them admittingly like, oh, I never thought I'd be buying a gun. I never thought I'd be ever doing something like this, but here I am. And a lot of them were like upset with themselves. Like a lot of times like, oh, first time gun buyer. And I was trying to make conversation because we're doing paperwork. You excited? They're like, nope. And I'm like, oh, why are you here, man? And they're like, I don't even want a gun, man, but I feel like I need one.
Wow.
And that's what a lot of people were saying. A lot of people were saying that.
Yeah, it's interesting, man, because I mean, I think it's even like how I felt a little bit. Like I felt like I've wanted to kind of have one for a little bit, but this was definitely just the fear of the uncertainty of what's going to go on or what could go on.
Broke the camel's back, huh?
Yeah.
There it is. Yeah, I totally understand. I resonate with that. I get it. But that was most people that were buying guns in this big surge, especially here in California. Yeah. New gun buyers. Definitely.
First time,
brand new. Never shot a gun before.
How long do you think, so this 10 days been a little long, how long do you think that this thing's gonna, I mean, you think it'll be another 10 days, do you think?
Nah, they usually clear it up within 24 to 48 hours after the 10 days.
Yeah.
But people get impatient.
Yeah.
I mean, I had people, like, when the big rush, yell at me because they didn't know it was a 10-day waiting period. So they're buying the gun. They think they can take it home the same day. And I'll sell them the gun. I'll go through the whole paperwork, and then I'll tell them, like, oh, yeah, so here's your pickup date. And they're like, what? Like, I need to get the gun now. I'm like, yeah, well, okay, I can't do that, man. It's 10-day waiting period here in California. 10 days? Like, I had people like, there's not going to be a fucking city in 10 days, man. I need this gun right now.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I heard a few people say that.
Kind of like in Ozark. Have you watched Ozark or no?
I watched first season, man.
Yeah. It's kind of one of those shows that I feel like it's like good until you realize it's not any fucking good. But in the second season, they try to get a baby, and they try to get it. There's like a 10-day waiting period, and the guy's like, no, we need this baby right now, dude.
What could you need a baby for an emergency, man?
Fucking it's Ozark,
dude. Yeah,
always
no.
up to some fucking
they gotta guard. I need this baby to guard my house.
Yeah, basically. Yeah,
dude.
It really kind of did. It was
really?
Like, yeah, it was kind of a part of a weird trade off or some shit.
Oh yeah, I'll give you a baby if you launder this money for me, man. Like, hey man, I'll give you $1 million, but give me your fucking baby, man.
I mean, yeah, you basically just you listed all the plots.
It's like buying a tiger.
Yeah, you listed all the plots of season 2. Any other questions, guys? Something you guys are thinking about?
Are there any people recently you're like, they shouldn't have a gun, but you...
Yeah, I would say there's some people I feel like, not that they shouldn't have one, but I'm like, they should really, work on it if they're going to buy a gun. Like they should really work on their skills and their capability of manipulating the firearm before they really get this gun. So I always tell them, I highly recommend training, highly recommend when you get the firearm, keep the ammunition away from it and just learn how the gun works. Watch YouTube. It's a huge resource for firearms. If you watch somewhere on the anything on the internet like that, you can learn a lot just from there. That's where I learned a lot of the information I have about firearms. I learned through the internet, or reading books.
Look, out the gate, I'm coming at you 100. 100. A lot of people don't have that junk in the front trunk when they want to. They can't get erection. Sometimes you'll meet a friend, they can't get erection. You say, hey, what you doing, buddy? And they won't tell you. And that's because they have shame about erection. Well, this episode is brought to you by Blue Chew. Remember the days when you were always ready to go? When your dick was like just a big, fat, soft knife? Now you can increase your performance and get extra confidence in bed. That's right. Listen up. BlueChew.com. That's blue like the color blue. Blue Chew brings you the first chewable with the same FDA-approved active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis. So don't be looking for these expensive Gucci, Louis, all of this for your wiener. Get that hard working, get that Babe Henry, that Blue Ox, Paul Bunyan. You can take them anytime, day or night, even on a full stomach. You just had a half a pound of ravioli, so what? Throw that dick upper on top and go to work. Since they're chewable, they work up to twice as fast as a pill. And you can lie to people, tell them you're having a gum or something. See, I'm having a gum, I'm having a gobstopper. Blue Chew is prescribed online by licensed physicians. So you don't have to go to the doctor's office or wait in line at the pharmacy and pretend you're getting something else. Oh, this is for my cousin. That ain't for you. That ain't for your cousin. That's for your wiener, boy. It ships right to your door in discreet packaging. And right now, you can support this past weekend and stay erect at the same time. I mean, who are we kidding? Great idea. We've got a special deal. Visit BlueChew.com and get your first shipment for free when you use our special promo code THEO. Just pay the $5 shipping. That's right, BlueChew.com, promo code Theo to try it free. Blue Chew, it's the better, cheaper, faster choice. And we thank them for sponsoring the podcast, and you go out and support them. Thank you. They also have, you work at a gunsmithing place?
Yeah, I've been there longer than the gun shop. Yes,
okay.
Sir.
And what is that when you talk about gunsmithing? What is that?
So gunsmithing pretty much entails repairs, modifications, custom builds. It could be even little things. Mounting a scope onto a rifle, cleaning guns. So we do all of that. I'm really I really like old guns, military surplus stuff. So whenever we get old guns in there, that's like really my thing. But
like Sea War type shit, Civil War.
Oh well, yeah, not too much Civil War. I mean, I like Confederate stuff because it's got a richer history in terms of firearm stuff, But and they had less of a manufacturing base back in the Civil War. But a lot of World War II pieces, military surplus stuff, some World War I stuff, which I really like. Just old hunting rifles that are out of production are just cool in general.
So the two guns that I got, one is a Beretta. It's a 9mm, right?
Yeah, it's a Beretta M9.
And you said it was like one of the most popular. It was issued for law enforcement until when, 2018?
Huge in law enforcement for a long time, still is. It was issued to the military. So
okay.
U.S. Army, Marine Corps, the Navy as well, Air Force, pretty much the entire aspect of the U.S. military used the Beretta M9. First manufactured in Italy, but the one you guys made in the U.S.
Hell yeah.
That's the best way to go. All metal, all steel frame, all steel slide, single double action. Yeah, I mean it's pretty much it's the Bruce Willis of guns.
I like that, man. And single double action means that
when you pull the
trigger,
the hammer's down, it's a long, heavy trigger pull because that trigger, mechanically speaking, has to pull that hammer back and then drop it. After the gun fires and the slide works back and then forward again, that's automatically going to push the hammer to the rear. So now it's just a short, easy, light trigger pull just to drop that hammer, and that makes the gun a lot easier to shoot.
Yeah.
So
and this is really your basic man's gun.
Oh,
now,
yeah.
You get some men that come in and their arms are almost too weak to hold up a gun, and and you still have to sell them a gun.
Yeah, I mean, if they want a specific gun, then they got it. I mean, I remember I had a while ago. And for the whole rush, I had like a 85-year-old African American woman, and she was with a cane, just frail. Mm-hmm. And she came and she's like, "Young man, I'm looking for a double barrel shotgun."
Damn.
I was like, "Yeah, okay, we got double barrel shotguns." I put one in her hands, and she's like, "Oh, it's too heavy. You got something else?" Like it was like, yeah. So I actually got her a little Ruger like a LCR. It's a polymer frame revolver, super lightweight. She was able to handle it, but there's a lot of misconceptions around guns, but most people's basis of gun knowledge is going to come from the media. It's going to come from movies, video games, TV shows, and they are notoriously bad at giving out accurate information about firearms. Notoriously bad.
Have you had people come in and say, I want the gun that's in this game?
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yep. Kids that are just turning 21. What? They're like, hey, what's that on the wall? I'm like, oh, that's a Chris Vector. It's a sweet, decked out looking little submachine gun thing. It's not an actual machine gun. It's a carbine. It's semi-automatic because we're not getting. Yeah, there you go.
That's Chris Vector.
Yeah.
Let's see that
and it's like, oh yeah, man, I used to run that thing in Call of Duty, man. I used to run that thing in Modern Warfare 2.
Wow.
All types of or just like, I mean, I had a dude come in there, didn't know anything about guns. He was a rich guy, he came up in a Porsche. He was like, I'm looking for the revolver that Dirty Harry used.
Wow.
In Dirty Harry. I'm like, all right, like the one Clint Eastwood used. And he's like, yeah, that's the one. I'm like, all right, it's a Smith & Wesson Model 29. And I hand it to him, but we actually had one. They still make them in commercial production. There you go, 44 Magnum. And he was like, yeah, I'll take it. Didn't want to know anything about the gun, just wanted it because it was in Dirty Harry. So, yeah, that's it.
So it's just amazing to me that someone sees it in a video game or something like, oh, now I got to have this.
Yeah, they just want it.
Especially if it's a game from like Grand Theft Auto because you're driving around with that.
Yeah, on your lap, man, just shooting motherfuckers. Yeah, that's just how it is.
Do you have you ever sold a gun that was used in a crime or murder?
I wouldn't know. We do get like police trade-in guns, and it's not unheard of for police departments to pick up guns. This is all around the country. They pick up guns in crimes, and then they pretty much clear the crime out, but they still have the firearm that they confiscated off somebody, and then they'll resell it to gun stores, and the gun stores will sell it used for a cheap price. It's really, really popular. So there's plenty of guns out there that have. I'm sure they have some bodies on them. Like I got an old SKS, right? I've seen it
in I think in Call of Duty.
An SKS?
I think so.
I don't know, man. It was a rifle used in the Vietnam War a lot. The one I have was manufactured in China, but it's a cool rifle.
Dang, yeah.
Yeah, and it's an awesome rifle. It's the first gun I ever bought, man. When I turned 18, I bought that thing. And the one I got was a Vietnam bringback. So some veteran was in Vietnam, probably smoked some Vietnamese dude, had an SKS, and then took it home when he came back from the war.
Dang.
So who knows what that rifle has seen? Yeah. And I mean, the one I got was made in 1953. So it's definitely seen something, That
was some killing years back then.
It's older than my pops. Oh yeah, man. I mean, that thing was probably like, early stage of Vietnam War, and they were used fighting. I mean, there's originally a Russian gun. The gun was invented by a Russian inventor, Simonov. But then, how the Russians are, they're communist in the Soviet Union. So all of their designs, after they kind of were like declared antiquated, they kind of just spread it around the socialist united world. And so China pretty much got the manufacturing rights to make these, and the Chinese loved them, and they made them in the millions. There's millions of these things around the world right now. Wow. You have pictures of African tribesmen.
Yep, you see them a lot with those guns.
Extended, earlobes, the whole thing, and they're not even wearing Western clothing, and they have an old Chinese SKS over their shoulder. That's their gun.
That's wild, huh?
Crazy.
Isn't it interesting? Like so much of that of the firearms trade that goes on, it's unbelievable.
I mean, whatever you think is going on commercially in the U.S., just think under the table internationally.
Yeah.
Insane. I mean, you have countries that you wouldn't even expect, like HK in Germany, massive firearms producer. They sold, I think like 20,000 G3 rifles to Saudi Arabia, and then all of a sudden they found a bunch of these rifles in the hands of ISIS in Syria, or they found them in these militia groups, Al-Nusra in Syria, and they have all these G3 rifles that were just sent to Saudi Arabia. So there's actually like a lot of international organizations that kind of track where these things show up. I mean, there's pictures of like the conflict in Syria, the civil war, where they're driving a Panzer IV from World War II, a German tank. It's like, where the fuck did they get that shit? That thing weighs 25 tons. Where the fuck did they get that?
Dude, there's pictures of fucking ISIS driving old Ford Tauruses as well, dude.
Oh yeah.
But I'm just saying, there's such a secondary market that it's so funny, like how on the surface would be like, no guns, and then if you go and look at how America makes money, one of the ways is through selling firearms to different countries. It's crazy.
Firearms is a fraction of it. If you think about the military-industrial complex, we're talking weapon systems. I mean, fighter jets, missiles, things that one single F-35, right, a Lightning II, that are pretty much our newest 5th generation multi-role jet. I mean, they're worth fucking billions of dollars, just the whole program itself. And they're sent and they're sold to all these countries in NATO. And I mean, all these weapon systems just end up in the hands of all types of people. It's the weapons trade, not just small arms, not just machine guns and rifles.
Software
and pistols.
too, even.
Everything. Intercontinental ballistic missiles, old submarines, ships, everything. The defense industry internationally and even under the table is fucking monumental. Monumental.
Crazy, huh?
Do you think any guns are unnecessary, like for normal people to have, or are you just like, I think everybody should have everything? Everyone should be a right. What do you think?
Yeah, that's tough. Like you have in certain states and stuff, given certain licensing, which apparently isn't terribly hard to get. You can get like an old Soviet artillery gun, and there's private owners that own tanks with live guns in them, 75 millimeter cannons, machine guns. I don't think anyone should be barred from owning those things, but I understand the licensing required to have something destructive. That's what the ATF calls certain things. There's destructive devices, quote unquote. And these firearms, I mean, not even firearms, but you have weapons that are devastating. And I can understand the logic of like, yeah, maybe we shouldn't give, like inner city crime gangs RPGs, right?
Right.
However, I think if you're a law-abiding owner and you can use those things responsibly, I don't think there should be limitations on what you can get, especially because it's a slippery slope. I mean, you can see it here in California.
Right, but then also, like, imagine if the guy who, like, shoots up the Las Vegas,
right,
if that guy had an RPG, it'd be insane.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? I suppose. I mean, it would fire a rocket, right? I mean, he did plenty of damage with a AR-15 anyway. Well, supposedly an AR-15. Who knows? I don't know what he used. I think a lot of AR-15s is what they say.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I understand the logic. I don't necessarily agree with it. It's kind of tricky. It's just really tricky. I don't know how I feel about it.
Because so in addition to the Beretta, what is the other piece of gun that I bought?
You bought an AR-15 lower receiver.
Yep.
So what I mentioned earlier is that
That's
the only
motherfuckers, bro. Johnny little bastard.
The only serialized part of that, yeah, there you go. That's called a stripped lower.
That's what I got.
So that's considered a firearm. It's a piece of aluminum with holes in it. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's a gun. That's a gun.
Right, that's considered a gun. So I had to buy this piece in order to be able to have this.
Yeah, and the one you got costed you about $40.
And then now I can have the rest of it built.
All the other parts, internal parts kits, trigger group, buffer tube, the upper receiver, the barrel, everything you need on that gun, you can order it online and have it delivered to your house. Given you have a little bit of know-how and some simple tools, we'll throw it together for you, and you'll have an AR-15. It's not like a loophole.
And what can I do with an AR-15?
Shoot stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, they're fucking sick, man. They're AR-15s are probably the coolest rifles you can get your hands on, in my opinion, in the United States. They're kind of like it's like the Ford F-150 of guns. Everyone's got one, right? Especially in the country, but.
Except for Nick.
Yeah, man, they're the most popular rifle in the United States. Semi-automatic, shoots a very controllable, easy to use cartridge. AR-15s have been used.
How many shoots can I do at once with this?
Depends on the size of the magazine you have inside of the gun, but swapping a magazine is not very hard. So a standard capacity magazine throughout the country is 30 rounds. That's what like the military uses on their ARs. Mm-hmm. California, the limit's 10 rounds per magazine. But I mean, they make 60-round drum magazines, 100-round drum magazines for them.
I'll probably stick with 30 or 60.
Right. Well, you'll get 10.
Yeah, I'll do 10.
Yeah. California, man.
Yeah, California is.
Yeah, so you got 10.
Yeah.
Same thing in your pistol. Your pistol's supposed to hold, 15 rounds in the magazine?
California, you get 10.
10.
That's the rule.
10 rounds limit for whatever gun in California.
I like that.
Yeah, that's the thing.
If you can't get it done in 10, you deserve to die, I think.
Fair enough.
You know what I'm saying, though? Like, if you can't get it done in 10 shots, you fucking, you know what I'm saying? You fucking shot the guy's wife. You fucking killed 2 animals. You fucking blew out your fucking bedroom wall.
Knocked out every street light on your block, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At that point, you need to go. You're really the...
At that point, it's your turn.
Yeah. You're the one really causing the most trouble at that point.
Right. I just don't like it because I don't like the government telling me how many rounds they think is enough.
Right.
The police officers don't need to follow that rule. The military doesn't have to. I mean, I can go to Nevada. You drive 5 hours away, and they're 200 round belt fed fucking machine guns over there.
You can have that there?
Yeah, I mean, with a machine gun, yeah, given the licensing.
Wow.
Yeah, but the magazine capacity is not limited in most states. I believe California, I believe Massachusetts, New York, a few other states have magazine capacity limits. Colorado, I think, too.
See, it's funny because I believe that some semi-automatic weapons people shouldn't have. You know, I believe that people shouldn't be able to just rattle off 700 rounds.
Right.
But then here I am buying a semi-automatic weapon.
You're buying 2 semi-automatic weapons.
Yeah, two.
And one's a quite capable rifle, and the other one's a very well loved and well used semi-automatic pistol.
Jesus Christ,
I mean,
dude.
Nah, man, they're cool, man. I mean, once they're all done, I'm taking you out and we're going to the range.
All right, man.
Take you guys too, man. It'll be a good time.
I just don't want to fucking shoot somebody or myself, dude.
Nah, man, come on, dude. We're not gonna shoot anybody. We'll be fine.
Well, no, are you going on a separate day than Theo?
Oh yeah, no, we'll go the next day, man. Don't worry. We'll leave Theo out there. We'll just get him the next day, man. He'll be fine. Don't worry.
Do you have a feeling in your life that you'll ever shoot someone?
I pray to God that I fucking don't. Do I have a feeling I would? I don't think so.
Like, really, what does your gut tell you?
What does my gut tell me that I might? Damn, man. Well, I would say... Oh, fuck, that's tricky. Given the situation now, I would say it's not terribly unlikely. I knew this old dude, and he shot some people that broke into his house, and he was telling me about it. He said it was fucking terrible, but I really hope I don't want to. But no, I don't think I will, man. I don't think I live in a fairly secure complex. I don't think anyone's. The only situation I see myself doing that is like someone trying to kill me in my house, and that's pretty unlikely.
Yeah.
So I don't think so. But I mean, I like guns I like recreational shooting. Like, that's one of my favorite hobbies in the world.
Mm-hmm.
I go hunting. I love it, man. I love it. I shoot archery too. It's awesome. But
yeah, I want to get into some more of these types of things. You know, that's why I'm excited to get out to the range. I mean, I did notice immediately whenever you started to teach me, even in the store, about how to load the gun, unload the gun, like the steps to go through. By the end of that, I felt 5 times more confident, even just picking the gun up, and like, I just felt a lot more like, okay, now I have some education that goes along with this thing. It's not just a errant thing that could just kill me at any moment. Like, now I understand, okay, this is how it behaves. This is how I need to use it. These are the protocols I need to go through.
Exactly.
So it was really interesting to me just to notice how immediately when I had that education, it really adjusted the way that that the gun felt to me.
It makes a world of difference, man. People talk about accidental shootings and then how dangerous guns can be in the home. But if you have the experience and the knowledge and the know-how and the confidence to utilize that firearm confidently, there's no chance of it injuring you or anyone else. Because if you followed all the proper protocols, it's an inanimate object just like anything else. It's gonna hurt you as much as this glass bottle will. It makes no difference. It's just an object. The only thing that gives it the capability of being lethal is somebody either making a mistake or someone using it with malintention. That's it.
Do you feel like if as the fear of the pandemic and stuff goes away, that you'll see a resurgence of people selling their guns back?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I think a lot of people are just buying them and they don't know what the hell they're going to do with them. And I think as soon as they have the opportunity to get rid of it, I think the used gun market after all this is over is going to be booming. So. And
where does the used gun market send guns to? So gun
stores. Gun stores. Oh, they'll sell it. I mean, there's a lot of forums online where they're, oh, hey, I'm selling this gun. We'll do a private party. Meet at this gun store. They do the private party, and that's it. A lot of times people are like, hey, I just want to get rid of the gun. I don't care about finding someone willing to buy it. So they sell it to gun stores, and then the gun stores will resell them for profit.
Have you ever sold a gun to a guy with like teardrop tattoos by his eye or no?
Yep. I have, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I mean, hey, if they pass the background check, who am I to say that they can't own the gun?
Right.
Bottom
you don't
line.
really have that jurisdiction.
No, I don't. Well, I have the ability to choose who I sell a gun to. Right. I can say, no, I'm not going to sell you a gun. But I mean, I'm not trying to cause those issues. I'm not going to try to be stuck up. And that kind of ability, that kind of mindset can lead to people being, using that to pretty much be racist or something, right? If they see someone, let's say I don't like Asian people, right? Oh, I'm not going to sell any Asian people a gun. That's crazy, man.
Right.
That's crazy.
That's
if they have the ability to buy a gun legally,
Right,
who
that's
am I
not
to
your
say?
responsibility.
Hell no.
Right.
It's not.
Yeah, you're just working at a place that sells guns.
Yeah.
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 But like you said, I mean, if somebody's high, you cannot sell them a gun.
Yeah, that comes down to, that just comes down to the law. If I can literally smell marijuana, I can get in trouble for selling them or even serving them or even putting a gun in their hands if they smell like marijuana, which I think is crazy, but that's just the rules.
Have you ever had a person where you're like, you had to ask them, like, are you planning on killing somebody with this gun?
Nah, I never had to do that.
Would you do it if you felt compelled to do it?
Oh yeah. I'm pretty outspoken at the store. You have a lot of people that are kind of shy that work there, but yeah, I mean, I like to crack jokes there and stuff. It's a gun store, man. Like, how seriously can you take your job? I'm having a good time. So yeah, I've said
awesome
some funny
in there.
stuff.
I felt way more machismo once I got in there. They got all kind of stuff. Little buckets you could sit on. They got those all type of fishing stuff, nets you could catch stuff. They had gloves for all type of different things you could do with gloves.
We have a whole fishing
Guns.
section.
It was
all
good.
types of fun stuff. Yeah, you ever been to Bass Pro Shops?
Yeah.
That's the
sister
mecca
lives
right
behind one
there,
of
man.
them.
That's the fucking place,
they're
dude.
nice. Yeah, they're real nice.
You can do whatever you want there.
Fellas,
I'm good. That was
Gianni
super
wants to
informative.
talk. I know Gianni.
No, I just have one more. This might be a crazy question. But
sure.
has anyone ever tried to rob your store, or have you ever heard of anyone trying to rob a gun store?
I've asked that question to my manager, and apparently our location was robbed a long time ago. Due to just like there's a lot of gun stores, especially more like not family oriented, but like smaller businesses where the people in there are armed, and most of those places don't get hit. Turner's is a corporation, and due to, I guess, insurance purposes, they don't want us to be armed, so we're not armed in the store.
Wow, that was gonna be my last question.
Yeah, well, we're not armed in the store at all over there. So
How quickly could you reach for an arm, though?
we can get a gun, but I mean, we don't have loaded magazines or ammunition on us, nor would we terribly be inclined to retaliate, considering if someone's in there ready to rob a gun store, they probably don't give a fuck, and they probably got guns ready to rock and roll. So if we're in a position where we're already at a deficit just due to the fact that we don't have loaded weapons on us, retaliation is probably not the best idea.
What would you do then?
Run. Get the fuck out of there.
Well, why would someone rob a gun store for a gun if they have a gun?
They have a gun, but then they can just go in there and steal 100 guns.
More guns.
Yeah, they fucking break in the glass, and if they steal a bunch of guns, then fuck, man. That's a lot of money.
Is there a method of that micro stamping you think that could work? Because some of it does seem a little bit archaic when you think about it. That you have this gun, you have this bullet, that there isn't a way to definitely track and know what's going on. Just because we have so much technology now.
Right. I can see micro stamping maybe working in the way where you'll have the ability to track the gun. However, practically speaking, that would significantly increase the price of the firearm.
Right.
Okay. And it's very easily worked around. It's really easy to scratch out the serial number of a gun. Right. It's really easy to scratch out something like micro stamping. Just go with a
right.
metal
Yeah, and it
pick
even says that the micro stamping wears out. That it's not.
It just wears out with use.
Right.
So imagine if I intentionally try to get rid of it, or if I just replace the part that has the micro stamping on it.
Right.
Just buy a replacement firing pin.
Yeah, I'm just wondering what the technology is that will
allow you to.
that will solve the problem. That will get it done.
Yeah.
Micro stamping seems like it's like an attempt at that.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think. Do you feel like everyone should be able to own a gun?
Yeah, unless you're mentally incompetent or a hardened criminal, I would say yes. I would say, yeah, everyone should have the ability to, unless you're, just completely irresponsible. Yeah, it's. I don't necessarily see it as a right that's given to us. It's a right that a human being should have inherently. I'm not a religious guy. People say like, oh, these rights are God given.
Right.
I'm not religious at all, but I feel like, I believe people.
Yeah, God never had a gun, really.
Yeah, I feel like people should have inherent rights, man. Like if you're just a human being, you have you have freedom of speech. You're allowed to express yourself, right?
Right.
You're allowed to vote politically. You're allowed to, not be enslaved, right? You're just a free human being. You should be able to have a tool to protect your life and the life of people around you.
Yeah.
So I think unless you're completely mentally incompetent or a hardened, dangerous criminal, then yeah, everyone should have the right to own a gun.
We have a world that has guns in it. Mm-hmm. Do you wish that we had a world that somebody had just never invented guns?
And since I like guns so much, no.
Yeah.
However, admittingly, things would be, I would say, less lethal if there was no guns. But for a much longer period than guns have ever existed, there's still been massive war and conflict coming out to the classical era.
Oh, people love killing each other.
Exactly. It doesn't matter if you got a gun or not.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. I mean, they would ride horses with, lances on them and go and stab people to death.
Yeah.
Thousands would die in single battles. It doesn't make a difference.
Yeah, people love to kill each other. They have, even the mayor of Baltimore announced that had to ask people to stop killing each other so they could save the hospitals for COVID patients, for COVID.
Yeah. Just please stop shooting people.
Yeah. That's really what he said. So yeah, people love to Baltimore mayor begs residents to stop shooting each other so hospital beds can be used for coronavirus patients. So that's real shit.
I also think it was who came out. I think it was the mayor of Dallas. He was saying that like criminals chill. Criminals take it easy because like we all just want to go home at the end of the day. So just relax for now. I thought it was pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, just take a break, criminals. Actually, before this, I was having Easter brunch with a friend of mine. His stepfather is a California highway patrolman. He's been at this for like 30 years.
Yeah.
Brendan's stepdad, actually. And he was telling me that crime is down except for auto theft. Auto theft is the only crime that's up.
That makes sense. A lot more cars just parked now.
Yeah.
Yeah, ready to go.
I guess if you're a burglar, you got to do something. You still got to work, and you do car. Now you
still
do
need
cars.
money, man. If you're living that life,
you got to get out there.
Yeah, for
well,
sure.
man, it was interesting. Yeah, I just found it so interesting, Niko, that because I came in and you just knew so much about weapons, and I was like, man, this is kind of fascinating. And I was like everything. I was excited to be buying a gun. I was scared to be buying a gun, kind of.
Yeah.
I was kind of glad I finally felt like at least confident and adult enough within myself to be like, okay, I can have a gun in my house,
right? And
I'm not gonna shoot a buddy or something for fun. You do anything crazy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and then you said, man, there's just so many people buying guns right now, and it was just really interesting to me.
Yeah.
In a state that, a lot of times you hear a lot of people like, no guns.
Yeah.
And then this type of, we get into this core of it, and everybody's gunning out.
Oh, yeah. Just the numbers are mind-blowing. Just the numbers are mind-blowing. There's going to be a lot more guns out there.
Yeah.
Just get ready for it. Bottom line.
Do you sell a lot of Kevlar and stuff like that with them or often or no?
No, we don't sell any body armor there. We do have some plate carriers that we sell there that allow you to insert plate armor inside of the vest, but we're not a armor retailer. I don't really know if that's up for private sale in California. I'm not entirely sure. But
and what about flares, nades, anything like that?
Yeah, I wish we sold grenades, man. That'd be sick, but no, we don't. Explosives, not gonna happen. That would be sweet though, man. We actually talked about grenades when you came in. I remember that. That was pretty funny.
Oh yeah, we did, man.
No flares. Oh yeah, grenades. Grenades are cool, man. I was in Cambodia, and I was with my cousin.
Oh, you could throw a fucking grenade over there. I bet.
Oh yeah. They had like they were advertising, man. We were in this little tiny village called Koh Kong. It's on this river by the Thai border. And they were there, and you guys were asking us like, oh yeah, but they saw our backpacks, some kind of like military style backpacks. No one's in the military who I'm with, but they were like, oh yeah, you like guns, and we're like, yeah, we like guns. And they're like, come on, we have machine gun, we have RPG. And I'm like, let's go shoot. And we didn't end up doing it. I kind of regret that. I kind of wish that we did. But they were like, "Oh yeah, you can throw grenades and everything."
Damn.
Yeah. But dude, Cambodia had a massive, genocide. They had a civil war.
Oh, so there's guns. Yeah, shit's just sitting around.
Yeah, they got it everywhere, man.
Yeah.
So it's crazy.
Cambos will fucking shoot anything, dude.
Oh,
how about this, bro? You pull up grenade detonation on YouTube. People are shocked always when they see this. People think nades go big. They really don't go that big. Yeah. A basic nade don't really fucking do that much.
Yeah, we were just talking about that, man. It's just really a pop, man. Like a lot of people see grenades in movies. They see an action movie and they throw a grenade. It's a giant fireball, man. It just blows up. But it's really a pretty small amount of explosives.
Not that one. Not that one. That one takes too long. I've watched that one before.
They're not terribly lethal. They're very lethal, but they're not like massive explosions.
Hand grenade compilation?
Okay, let's try that.
Yeah, check it out. That's some Kurdistan shit, man.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Damn, dude, you got to throw it further than that. That dude threw it 4 feet. What a freak.
That guy sucks, man. There's Cambodia for you, man.
So we had to run back.
Wow.
That's cool.
You know, it used to be 8 seconds on a grenade. I believe now it's 4 seconds.
Oh yeah, did they?
Because people, it was too much time. Yeah. The early ones. I want to say it was during like the French War or something.
They would throw them back, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so interesting how they could make it, you know, like the time like that. Like, how do they even build that? I don't understand.
Yeah, it is really interesting. Once you pull that pin.
Yeah. The first like really widespread used grenades.
Here's a guy,
fucking
fucking white dude using it. Sorry to interrupt you.
That, no, you're good, man.
Is that Danny McBride?
That's what it would have. Those guys are probably in Cambodia, man.
That guy threw it left-handed. He's obviously right-handed. Do not do that, that bitch. But look how small that is. It's really smaller than you think.
Yeah.
I mean, that is just a little blip.
Yeah, but in terms of the timing, like the first grenades that were really used widely was in World War I, man. It was called the Mills bomb. The British used them. And they had an internal fuse that would kind of burn inside the grenade, and that would make it go off. So you would pull the pin, a safety pin, and then you would throw it, and there's like a little hinge, right? That's how most grenades use.
What is it called? Let's look it up.
A Mills bomb.
Mills bomb?
Yeah. It was like the first like widely used grenade in combat. I mean, there's earlier examples of like more primitive grenades, but the first like widely produced and you know issued grenade in World War One.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah, Mills bomb.
That's that old school hitter, Daddy.
Oh yeah,
That 36-meter Mills bomb right there.
There it is.
And
man.
so then all those pieces would. So how does this one work?
Yeah, so there's you'd pull that pin, and then there's actually a little striker after you pull the pin and you let go of the grenade, and that would allow like a spring-loaded striker to hit a fuse, and that fuse would burn for approximately I think 5 seconds, and after that it would just go off. There's a little bit of high explosive in there, and then pretty much how they cut those shapes into the actual body of the grenade, the explosive power would break the grenade fragments on those cuts, and that would be your fragmentation. Early grenades were really used more for taking enemy positions than they were for really like outright killing them. So they would throw them. They weren't terribly lethal in terms of fragmentation. They would just throw them, especially inside of bunkers in World War I down in the trenches. Everyone would be dazed and confused because of the grenade that went off, blowing everyone's ears out and making them blind. And they would run in there with bayonets and really finish the job. That was really how it was done back in the day.
Nade City, dog. So I'm telling you guys, keep your shit together, dog. Y'all get naded out.
And in World War I, man, they had like German stormtroopers when they were attacking enemy trenches.
Oh, yeah,
a lot of
they
times
did.
they wouldn't even go in with a rifle when they were attacking enemy position. They had these giant sacks that they would tie up to their shoulders, and they would just be full of grenades. They would have 12 grenades on them, and then like a club. So they would go in there at night raiding trenches, throw 12 grenades, and then after all the grenades go off, they'll run in there with a club and start beating people to death. Yeah, it was crazy. Crazy.
Man, it sounds like that movie Black.
Talk down.
No.
Sheep.
Black. No.
Mirror.
No.
Delilah.
Black Swan. No.
Oh.
Black with the big fish in San Diego. What's that called?
Blackfish.
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 Niko, man, thanks so much. Any more questions, guys?
I think that's it.
Yeah, man. It looks like we're in an environment where a lot of people are getting armed.
Yeah. Hey, man. Firearms, man, they're a good way to go. It's a great hobby. It's a great way to protect your life, man. And as long as you use them safely, they're really just a lot of fun. So,
do you think I could be a safe user of firearms?
I wouldn't sell it to you if I didn't think you would, man.
Right on, man.
To be perfectly honest with you, man.
Cool. Respect. Thanks, dude. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
dude.
of course, yeah.
Good to know I can do that. And all right, thank you so much for being here, man.
Oh,
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, you bet. Oh, wait, one more thing I want to ask you about.
Yeah.
So there was a video you were showing me of what other type of like hunting and outdoor activities do you like to do?
Well, here in LA, man, I do a lot of the season just ended, but I do a lot of scuba diving. That's something I'm really into. So my cousin and I and my dad and my uncle will go out. So we got a lot of scuba gear, and we'll go down and in different spots around like pretty much the west side out in the ocean, and we go either out in a little boat or we go out there late at night, kind of Navy SEAL style, and we go there and pick out lobster. So we go out there with a lobster bag. We wear Kevlar gloves, flashlight, and you're there, and they come out at night to feed and breed.
where are you at? Where are you located at here?
Right now? Where I live?
When you do it? No, when you do this.
Oh, Palos Verdes, around the marina, Redondo, up in Malibu, just pretty much the whole bay. And then you go out there late at night, and underwater it's completely pitch black down there. So all the lobsters start coming out, and we have bright flashlights. We're all, we're fully scuba out. So we're about, 30, 40 feet underwater by the rocks, sometimes even shallower. And then you grab these big bugs, man, and they're trying to fight you, and they start grabbing and kicking, and then you stuff them in a bag, and you fill up the bag. The limit's 7 per day, so we'll fill them up and then bring it back up. And we have some good cookouts. We also go I do a little bit of fishing. Out in a few rivers, we go crawfishing. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of fun. So it's similar to lobster. You just get a lot more of them, and they're smaller. And and then other than that, do hunting, and that's a lot of fun. Mostly birds, but do some deer hunting too. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
man.
that lobstering is so interesting, man.
Dude,
go out there at night.
Oh yeah, it's pitch fucking dark, dude. The first time I did it, I was freaking out. I was like, damn, you're down there with these ancient fucking crustaceans. These things have been on this planet way longer than we have.
Yeah.
And they're not used to motherfuckers going down there with scuba tanks and a 1,000 lumen flashlight, and they freak out, and you grab them up and you put them in a bag, man.
And do you use a weapon or anything? You just grab them with your hand.
Grab them with your hands, man. Kevlar gloves. You just grab them. Here they're California spiny lobsters, so they don't have claws like they do on the East Coast. They're just covered in spikes. Okay. So if you grab them with just your hands, they'll cut you up.
Oh Jesus!
So you grab with a Kevlar glove, so you stuff them in a bag.
Fuck yeah!
And they'll squeeze onto your hand real tight. They're actually surprisingly pretty strong, and if you get a big one, you got to go 2 hands. So you grab 2 hands, and you have to pretty much hold it onto your chest because they're trying to kick away from you,
like a baby almost.
Yeah, and then your dive buddy pretty much has to come and help him get it off and get into the bag. And it's crazy, man. If you land a big lobster, man, it's fucking wild. There's a lot of food there, man. So I've gotten a lot of lobster this year.
Sounds good, huh?
Oh yeah, and then you cook them up, man. I cook them up Aussie style. I throw them on the grill, just butter and seasoning, man. It's fucking good.
Get Gianni's little soft ass out there to catch one or ride one even.
Yeah, if you guys are down to come out in cold water, man. Yeah, we'll get some lobsters. We got some bugs out there.
Gianni get out there and ride a lobster around.
Hell yeah. Well, other than that, diving, man. I mean, I was diving in the Philippines. Saw a whale shark. I mean, I did another dive around a bunch of sardines. So I love diving, man. That's another big hobby of mine, man. I love scuba diving.
Yeah, I got to get more of that outdoor motif going on. I used to have it when I was young because we spent so much time outdoors, but the city will really change you.
Oh yeah, I mean, hey, it kind of kills your soul a little bit.
Yeah, 100%. Oh definitely, man. Yeah. Well, now I can kill other people's souls because I have 2 fucking guns, bro.
There you go. Now you can fucking take souls while you lose yours, bro.
Niko, thanks so much for coming, bro.
All right, thanks, Theo. Thanks for having me. Of course.
On the breeze, and I feel I'm falling like these leaves. I must be cornerstone. Oh, but when I reach that ground, I'll share this peace of mind I found. I can feel it in my bones, but it's gonna take a little time for me to set that parking brake and let myself unwind. Shine that light on me. I'll sit and tell you my stories. Shine on me, and I will find a song. I will sing it just for you. And now I've been moving way too fast on the runaway train with a heavy load of my past.
I want to see that piece, man.
Oh yeah, bro. This is a custom piece from work, man. So it's all custom
nice.
part.
You got that sight on that.
Oh yeah, red dot. This guy's decked out.
Is there any bullets in it?
Nah, I wouldn't do that. Clear. Nice. So, pretty much polymer 80. This is pretty much a copy of a Glock. So we start off with a normal metal frame, just like it's pretty much the same color as that barrel.
Okay.
And it's just pretty much just a straight block, and we do all these machine cuts. We make our own compensators.
Damn.
Ordered that. Do that cut for the sight, so you can actually aim, and you can pick up that red dot. So you guys can check that out.
Yeah.
You see the dot?
Yeah, you want the dot where?
You just put the dot wherever, and then wherever the dot is, you're gonna.
Okay.
That's where you're hitting.
Damn, boy.
Yeah,
Are you getting a sight
That's
for
like a
yours?
little fucking Tinkerbell on that bitch, dog.
Are you getting a sight for yours?
Nick, boy. Sorry, Nick. Just that fucking...
Get the fuck out of there.
That moving target, boy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's a custom piece that we did, man. So I did all the internal work on it.
That's nice.
So that's my competition piece. So when I shoot pistol competition, that's what I'm using.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
That's dope
Copy.
as fuck. How much does that cost to get up?
Yep.
He was firing a gun in his fucking studio. How do you?
See that?
Are you gonna
Don't
get
worry,
a sight for
I don't
yours?
know either, man.
Push it all the way out. It can be a little hard to pick up.
Got you.
You see the red dot?
Oh yeah.
There you go.
It's crazy too, man. Once you learn like how it all works, so show us how to open it up and stuff
Sure,
like
man.
that.
Yeah, no problem. So this, just like your Beretta, man, that's your slide release. What I was talking about.
Yeah.
So 20 rounds in here with Foot California, and so you pretty much have a few controls in this gun. It's really, really simple. There's your magazine release. So the magazine's in there. Just press that button, drops the mag.
Oh damn.
Just like that.
Oh damn.
Pull back on the slide. You can just pull it back. You can grab the red dot if you like. Whatever you like. And then if you want to hold it with no magazine, you push up on that. Pull that to the rear. It'll lock it. Or you can use the magazine follower in there. Pull back on the slide, and it'll lock it up for you. And then you can just press down on that piece. That'll drop the slide.
Gang
Just
shit.
like that.
Dude, you gotta join a gang, bro.
Dude, I know. I'll be pivotal in that shit.
Wow. Okay, so I would take this out.
Yeah.
And then this.
If you want to clear it, so you'd push up on that, and then pull
Okay.
the slide to the rear.
All right.
There you go. All the way back. There you go. Lock
All
that.
right.
Now to drop it, you just press down on that. Opposite direction. There you go.
Right at me.
Tight. Wow. And this is all custom?
Yeah, it's a custom frame, and then we get a blank slide, and we order it all in, and then I do all the internal like polishing work, and then we do the machine cuts here, and then we do Cerakote all in house. So we do that color. I
Praise
mean, when you get
Christ,
your
bro.
Beretta, we can do that. We can do whatever pattern you want.
Praise Christ.
Get this shit decked out. We can
That's
have fucking Theo Vaughn engraved on that bitch. Whatever you want.
R.I.P.
Yeah, whatever you like, dude. Whatever you like.
Billy Conforto.
Yeah. That Billy Conforto special edition, dude.
Hell yeah.
The R.I.P. Billy Conforto edition, bro. That's a great idea. Now, do these come custom? Can you get these custom done as well?
Now, so these are just the normal Glock magazines. Here is an extended base plate. So you replace the actual base plate of the magazine, add this metal base plate on there, and that adds 3 more rounds to the capacity.
Oh, God.
The possession of actually more than 10 round capacity magazines in California is not illegal. So the possession of them is not illegal. Bringing them from another state or buying them here or selling them here is illegal. But having a high capacity magazine in California is not illegal.
Amen. Damn.
Yeah, it makes it so much harder. All the fucking guns are sold out online everywhere because the California compliant ones are so different than everyone else. So
You have
all
to have
of them are sold
you have
out.
to have California compliant versions, or you're fucked, man.
Like 90% of the guns online were all sold out unless
Yep.
they were.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Good. Yeah, man. That's cool. Cool stuff, dude.
Hey, man, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys having me on, man. I had a lot of fun.